everybody. Good evening. I hope you guys are doing very well. It's been a very long time since we last met. So I've clearly missed you. Don't know much about you. I'm hoping, keeping my fingers crossed, that you've missed me too. And here I come with the much awaited. I mean, it's not really much awaited because I don't know if everybody would be preparing for this examination or not. But yes, it was one of the most frequently asked strategy plan, which was, of course, coding, the SLAT preparation. So here I come today to be able to tell you how should you be navigating through all of these in just 1 month, which is going to be the month of December. But before I start with what I have for you in store, I would want a very quick confirmation as to my audibility and visibility. So if you can hear me and if you can see me properly, I'd like you to please write in the chat box. So I will just take a moment to take a peep in the chat box. And if everything is perfectly audible and visible, we shall begin. I still don't have any, I don't have a thumbs up or I don't have any confirmation. So I think I'm going to wait because I don't even know if you guys can hear me at this point of time or not. So if you could just have somebody who could, guys, I think we'll have to wait. Unless I have maybe a heads up will work, a thumbs up will work, something, anything, whatever it is, will just work for as long as I have a confirmation, guys. If you could please just write in the chat box. Okay, all right, all okay, perfect. Now that I have a confirmation from you guys, let us begin. Now, first things first. By now, you guys have been so well versed with the strategies that one has and what should be the employment of these strategies. कि ऐसा कोई rocket science नहीं है या कोई ऐसी अनोखी बात नहीं है जो मैं आज आपको बता दूंगी. But I do understand that sometimes just listening from somebody else helps, right? In your head, you know, for example, in your head, you know कि आपको क्या timetable बनाना है, आपको क्या पढ़ाई करनी है, you know it. But still, there'll be so many students who would just want a validation, which is a very human thing to do. So if you feel that I will come up with a very novel concept today, no, it's going to be the same. Yes, what I will walk you through today is going to be how the pattern of SLAT is different from the others, how there is a mindset difference because while the other examinations are for 2 hours, SLAT is a grind for only 1 hour. So while 1 hour looks very nice, you know, 1 घंटे में खत्म हो जाएगा, yay. But that 1 hour will actually fly. And how do you put weight to that 1 hour कि भाई धीरे धीरे जाए and that you have proper hold on to the time is not something which sounds as easy and looks as easy as we think it is likely to be. So these are going to be a couple of revelations that I am going to be doing for you. But otherwise, like I said, कोई बहुत नायाब चीज नहीं बता दूंगी मैं. And the beauty of SLAT is that SLAT also reciprocates and sort of resonates pretty much on the same pattern as that of the ALET and the CLAT. So all of the preparation that you're doing for the 2 examinations will just fit in fine. बहुत अच्छे से you will be prepared and you will know what SLAT also tends to be asking very confidently. Just that, and of course, SLAT has also been very kind to be able to take this examination towards the rare end of the new year. Right, so December के fag end में ही इसका exam होने वाला है. The 2 dates being the 20th and the 28th, which means you will have enough time to have finished the 2 major examinations, and then you can devote all of your mocks, your practice, your strategy, and a week or maybe 10 days is all it takes to overhaul the strategy altogether. So of course that is also something that you can do. And I hope everybody knows SLAT allows 2 windows and it is the best out of the 2. So if one of the windows screws up, कि ठीक है यार आज दिन नहीं अच्छा था, पता नहीं किसकी शक्ल देख के उठे, नहीं अच्छा हुआ, तो आप clearly दूसरा कर सकते हो. दूसरे में you can score a lot better, or maybe the first one can actually be just fielding कर रहे हैं, देख रहे हैं कैसे क्या है, you're just getting like a raw idea of how it needs to be, and then the next one can be as to how you wish to perform. So that's the leverage that SLAT does allow. So there are the pros and cons of it. And of course, at the end of the day, you're going to get admission into the Symbiosis Law School, one of the most revered, one of the most creditable, one of the most reputable law schools that we have in the country. So itna jo pura ballyhoo hota hai na, just the national, that's not it. There are so many other institutes also which offer quality, super quality education, which must be, something that you should also try and at least figure out, explore. So without any further ado, let us begin with a quick strategy. Now this is going to be a very short, sweet, crisp session because I don't have much to offer. Like I said, हम लोग ने इतना extensively A-led और इतना extensively CLAT में बात कर लिया है कि preparation wise but there are going to be a couple of things that you might want to work on, which is mostly going to be your temperament and your strategy. That is the way you approach it, what is the mindset going to be, and how is the paper pattern going to be. But again, please understand, guys, now is not the time for you to start preparing for SLAT. If you're going to do that, you will lose focus from CLAT and ALET, but that's not something we want. We want to focus on these, and of course, we also want to have, some cushions, right? We want to have some buffer options. So obviously, we will be preparing for SLAT, but you will have enough time to be able to do that. So please don't start getting too short-sighted for the two major examinations. Of course, this is also major, but if it will not match the kind of pedestal or the kind of quality or the level that CLAT is going to offer. After all, it is the national. It is called the national for a reason. So while we will do everything that we can to be able to score and give it our best shot, but please understand, prioritize, and don't mix up priorities there. That's not going to be something जो हमको बिल्कुल भी चाहिए. Okay, and with that, let us begin. What should be the ideology, or how should we be preparing for the SLAT examination? Now, first things first, you have to understand there is a complete, approach change in the paper. CLAT 2 घंटे का होता है, ALET 2 घंटे का होता है, SLAT 1 घंटे का होता है. It is just 1 hour. So it's like 2 घंटा is like, running in a marathon, while this is just a 100-meter sprint. Just have to go touch and come, and आपको पता भी नहीं चलेगा वो 1 घंटा कब चला गया. Just go like poof. It's going to be gone in thin air. You wouldn't even know where it is. So the 1 hour is something you will really want to grip on tight. So for you, mental calculation of how much time has passed, how much time has lapsed, and how much remains, and how much should you give to a section is very important. So you need to have a stopwatch that needs to be installed. And how are you going to do that? With practice. अब इतनी practice कर लो कि by default आपको पता चल जाए कि यार मोटा-मोटा इतने में इतना मिनट हो चुका है. क्योंकि हर समय टाइम देखना, पैनिक करना, ये it's too much to handle for a person. So what you want to do is you want to put yourself to a speed wherein जब आपके 10 या 12 questions खत्म हो रहे हैं, आपको पता चल रहा है कि यार 12 questions खत्म हो गए, भी finish है. Now I need to jump. I need to get on to the next section that I have. So a few facts about it. Now, like I said, between CLAT and ALET, all up until now, it was like a marathon training. So we were training really hard. We were training very heavy. But SLAT is not. SLAT is this very, agile paper. It's just going to be over by the time you realize it is. Because ऐसे हम लोग को 1 घंटा लगता है, अभी तो 1 घंटा, यहाँ तो 10 मिनट आपको सेटल होने में लगेगा, लास्ट का 10 मिनट हरी अप होने में लगेगा, 40 मिनट तो कब चले जाते पता भी नहीं चलता है. It's shorter than a Netflix episode, to put it like that, right? So in CLAT and ALET, what we've learned is hours of focus and stamina. You need to have a stamina to be able to sit through for 2 hours, and you need to be having the focus. Phase out नहीं हो सकते, blurred lines नहीं हो सकती. We can't just, begin to go into a Vincent Van Gogh mode. Stars full of sky, ये सब नहीं हो सकता है हमारा. SLAT, unlike that, it's like a 100-meter sprint. We blink and it is over. पता भी नहीं चलता है and it will just be over. What are the 2 dates that you have? It's going to be conducted on the 20th of December and then on the 28th of December. So the marathon prep is now going to be a sprinting superpower. And since it is going to be shorter runs, you know how your stamina, how the build up, how the speed, everything has to change. Right? That is how that's just how we get ourselves ready for what the paper is. Now, the SLAT paper and the time management. Now, this is going to be an important slide, especially the splitting time that I'm now going to be talking about. So, like we discussed, the 2 slots that are going to happen are going to be on the 20th of December and the 28th. The best score counts. So if you goof up in one, you always have an attempt to redeem yourself from the other one. The pattern is going to be 60 questions only, सिर्फ 60. 60 minutes, 1 mark each, no negative marking, which means give it all. There is no negative marking. सब करके आओ. Right? At this point of time, वो जो हमारा favorite game होता है, भगवान का नाम लेके mark करना है. करो उसको. Because there is no negative marking, there is nothing to lose. The sections will have 12 questions each. The sections are going to be divided into logical, legal, analytical, RC and GK. Now, कितना time किसको देना चाहिए? Ideal है, please customize this. I am not saying this is what you need to stick in onto, but this is likely to be how you should be spending your time. Now, the time split is you need to give about 10 minutes for logical. अब ये 10 का 11 नहीं होना है. Right? Now, if you think that you can compensate this some way, that is 12 minute इधर देख के और 8 minute RC में देख के, that's up to you. But whatever you decide as the upper limit, so that should be a cutoff. उसके ऊपर नहीं. Don't spend any further time, because then any further time is going to take away the sweet memories of another passage or another section, and that's not what you want to do. So about 10 minutes is what you wish to give for logical. Legal another 10 minutes, logical another 10 minutes, analytical, sorry, another 10 minutes. For RC, we have close to 12 minutes because they're going to be heavy in terms of the reading that we have. GK close to 8 minutes. I still want to leave a review of 10 minutes wherein you can simply see what is it that you wish to go back to. कहाँ कुछ छूटा है, कहाँ कुछ रह गया है, उसको आप कर सकते हो, या आप इसको further वापस individually divide भी कर सकते हो. Right? Now, what a tip, I mean, that one tip that I'd like to give is blitz 1 or 2 easy sections first, steal time for the tricky ones. Just make sure that whatever are your strengths, उनको पहले फट-फट लगा दो, ताकि maximize हो जाए number of attempt and you have more time. And always the one thing that I say is you must start with your strength. The mind is a muscle, it just needs a little bit of pump. एक बार वो पूरा वो ऑक्सीटोसिन, डोपामीन, एंड्योरेंस, सारा हॉर्मोन्स का एकदम हो जाता है ना फ्लड, then the mind is just going to go at a speed that is unstoppable and the confidence is going to be next level. So always start with your strength, never start with something that you don't like, and always keep that one more section that you like the most somewhere in between when you tend to lose focus. जैसे ही डैम्प लगने लगता है ना, फिर वो सेक्शन को करो. You need to keep something, you know, that you're going to look forward to. Motor yourself, turbocharge yourself. Okay, now some section by section strategy, the kind of things that you should really know at the back of your hand, which means you should know very skillfully and very promptly. Logical may please know what syllogisms are and solve it. Your arrangements, your coding, decoding, right? What is the hack? Please spot patterns, don't get stuck. These questions you have to solve in less than 40 seconds. Only then, if I say 40 seconds and less, and you'll somehow manage it in 1 minute. So obviously, आपको उसके पहले तो करना ही है. Legal reasoning में principal fact, legal maxims, know these very well. Please read thoroughly. Again, by the time SLAT is going to happen, CLAT and ALAT would have thoroughly tutored you. But again, you might want to solve a couple of past papers also to be able to know what they expect. Right? Apply principle exactly, no overthinking. So SLAT is a little traditional. वो जैसा rule है वैसे ही कर देता है. Rule से याद आया, I'm sure you must have heard about the Supreme Court and the draconian law verdict that has been passed out for the stray dogs. So, well, one thing is just leading to the other. Let's just hope there is some sense that goes into these people and that they are overturning their order, because this is outright mean, is how it is. Anyways, getting back to analytical reasoning. Please know the series, the analogies, and the basic DI very well. The hack, you need to know the quick calcs. That is, you need to know how to, solve it quickly. Avoid the long math. So please be quicker. Shortcut से अपने आप को equipped रखो. Reading comprehension, again, they're going to be shorter than CLAT and ALAT. And all what you have to do is skim, scan, answer. ये बड़े इन डेप्थ वाले नहीं होते, but yes, there will be tiny information which is, जैसे ये लोग क्या करते हैं ना, digits को number में लिख दे, name में लिख देंगे. So if I have to write 55, there'll be FIFTY, so that it's not visible. So those are going to be the kind of things you want to check. GK, please make sure that your static is also on point, especially polity, geography, and history. current at least the last 6-8 months, especially the award sports and the appointments. So SLAT has a habit of asking superficial GK, right? They're just going to be all the popular things that are mostly going to be asked. Now, the CLAT and the ALET advantage, something that I have been saying all this while, and that is 90% of your SLAT course is covered. You are prepared already. Now, all that you have to do is you have to sort of unlearn the CLAT strategy and relearn a SLAT strategy. क्योंकि 2 घंटे के पेपर का माइंडसेट रखना, अब उसको कट टू 1 घंटे में करना, that's 50% of time reduction. And your attitude will play a very important role here. So you might want to just train yourself as much as you can with the mocks, with the patterns of SLAT, so that now you know when to switch off from CLAT and when to get going on the SLAT. So difference is SLAT is lightning speed. It really is. It's like a blitzkrieg. It will come and go. You wouldn't even know, right? So CLAT is all about the stamina. SLAT is all about the sprint. The faster you do, and since there is no negative marking, please understand, guys, people are going to go all out. So you can't be very choosy, you can't be very picky, and you can't be, the kind wherein अच्छा हमें ये नहीं करना, हमें वो नहीं लगाना, इस पे ज्यादा टाइम स्पेंड कर लेते हैं. आप जैसे ही ज्यादा टाइम स्पेंड करोगे, लोग आपसे 3 क्वेश्चन आगे हैं ऑलरेडी, एंड हम तो बोलते हैं तुक्का भी मारा तो भी तुक्के में भी अगर सही हो गया तो. So you really have to make sure that you are achieving the numbers. That is, the attempt ratio is high, right? Now, what are the kinds of things that you can do to build up your SLAT skills? Now, first, please keep doing mock drills. Switch sections without panic. पहले तो जब आप करोगे तो please make sure you're switching sections to know कौन सा sequence आपके लिए work कर रहा है, right? Because 12 सब में है ना, so you really have to know which section is going to work for you. Experiment the first 3 mocks with different orders. Don't try to take the first mock and just stick to a pattern. And this is something I speak for the CLAT and the ALET examination. There's still time. If you think that this strategy, because see, a lot of times you could be very good academically, you could be very polished, you know your stuff, but your marks are still not coming. Because strategy also has a very important role to play. What section are you doing where? And this is not something that you can copy from somebody else. It is going to be something which has to be styled by you. So the strategy, the order, the sequence, the number of questions, how do you jump between a DI set? You do only one set, you do the whole DI. What is the time that you take? What is the placement of the section that you keep? Everything matters. Lock your flow, stick to what works. Once you've had confidence on the fact that this is what is going to be my A game, then stick to it. Lock your pattern there. And the rule is 60 seconds. Read, think, mark, and move on. You're going to read. You just have 60 seconds to do all of it. You have to read, you have to think. Please don't get knee-jerk on it. Think. 60 seconds is actually a lot of time when evaluated judiciously. But if you just start getting panicky about it, then of course 60 seconds, yeah, 60 minutes भी कम पड़ जाएंगे हमारे लिए. Right? Now, just the final 5-day sprint plan that I wanted to bring for you, because ALET is going to get over and then you will have about 5 days to be able to prepare till the 20th of December. So what are you to do on those 5 days that we have? Now, daily, because you would already be doing your CLAT and your ALET passages, you can just continue on those, right? I know SLAT is going to ask shorter passages, but then if you don't have a resource from where to pick up the SLAT style passages, you can simply continue on the same passage. It's not going to hurt you. So keep doing the passages. Do about 20-30 GK questions and 1 or 2 logical reasoning drills. Alternate days पे you need to be doing 1 SLAT mock, right? Why alternate days? Because 20th के बाद 28th को भी तो attempt है ना. So you want to be prepared. If you think that 28th you're not giving just this, then give it every day, right? And give 30 minutes time loss autopsy. You should dissect and do the analysis like you've dissected a dead body. पूरी ऑटोप्सी कर दो अपने पेपर की कि कहाँ क्या गड़बड़ किया, कैसे किया, क्यों किया, किस लिए किया, क्या सोच रहे थे, all things. Okay? टाइम पे देखो कितने बजे सॉल्व कर रहे हो. Please make sure you're solving it exactly at the time of the SLAT examination. The night before the paper, quickly revise your GK, the legal term, the flashcards, and rest. Because a fresh brain always works better than a tired genius. So you could be somebody who's excellent, but if you're tired, because having given 2 very big papers, and God knows what destiny holds for us, there's going to be a lot of pressure on SLAT. And SLAT of course is also the examination. In fact SLAT जो है Symbiosis तो कितने सारे अपने national से भी ऊपर है. So pressure तो बहुत होगा, expectation बहुत होगी, right? And what if हमारा बहुत अच्छा national में हो गया, but it's not the kind of national that we want. So obviously you might want to just, switch it for a SLAT. So you don't know what's riding on you and how much the stakes are. All of that will be something you will only know by the 18th of December. Once you have, provisional of both of it, you've matched and you've calculated your score. All of this pressure will come into SLAT. So SLAT, as easy as it looks, those 5 days will be very difficult, which is why a fresh brain is always better than a tired genius. Please remember that. So ultimately, now we know SLAT is the kind of examination where you have to adapt to not only a faster mode, the fastest. So fast, faster, fastest. Fastest mein jana hai humko. We have to be like those Schumachers in academics right now, right? Not know the most. Because 60 minutes 60 question everybody is going to do. जिसको कुछ नहीं आता होगा ना पेपर में वो भी 60 नंबर करके आएगा. तो आपको इतना आता है नहीं जरूरी है. It's not the breadth of information now, it's going to be the length of information that's going to be there. Use this as a training ground, the SLAT and the ALET. On exam day, please make sure that you are going to dominate SLAT. Go with that manifestation. Don't let anybody steal that thought of yours. And it's just a 60 minutes paper, but those 60 minutes are going to decide and ride high on where your next 5 years are going to look like. So please make sure that the 1 hour paper that you have is not a paper for merriment. It is the kind of paper which is going to be real struggle. Because 2 hours you still have time to flip the game. You still have chance to redeem. SLAT will not give you that. So, and then if they've given you no negative marking, do you understand what they've done? They've opened multiple options. It's like a Pandora's box now. There's just going to be, things coming in. Everybody will try what not. So at that point of time, you being an intelligent person will just not help. Your scheme, your strategy, everything will play in fair. That was it from my side, guys. I hope you now know what SLAT has to offer and how you can actually use CLAT and ALET as your, stepping stone to be able to prepare for SLAT. However, SLAT is for a later date, so there is no reason for you to be struggling on it right now. There is enough time for you to be able to revise your strategy and come around the paper. We will be doing a lot of SLAT intensive talking, but that's going to happen later. Please make sure that this is only for information right now, because what you have upcoming is a lot bigger than what this is. That's going to be it from my side. Thank you so much for giving me your valuable time. I hope I've been able to put you at some amount of peace, at least, if not complete clarity. The rest, of course, is going to come in clear once you start a mock, solve a mock, and see what and where do you stand or where do you rate yourself in terms of the performance and preparation. I will see you guys very soon with another very hot topic. But if you think that there's something that bothers you now that the exam is just around the corner, please do write in the comment box or do let me know. You know how to reach me. Please do let me know as to what should I be making a YT around, and it will be my absolute pleasure to be able to come and help you with that. If you like the video, please do hit the like button, share it with all of the other SLAT aspirants who are also struggling. And if there's anything, like I said, please do write in the comments and I will get back to you with it. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful evening.